Hey guys, so I'm making this video kind of like a NHL 18 wish list kind of thing. But these are just some things that I've noted from playing this game and also just reading and seeing everybody say what they want in this game, what they think it might be, make it better. And so this is what I've just kind of compiled. It's a big laundry list of ideas, but I think all these ideas are really good, and I think they could push this game to where we want it to be. So to start off, since I'm already in franchise mode, the first thing I would like to see updated is a better scouting system. Now, the scouting system now, it's like you scout a player and it could say top 9, top 6, or whatever, but you really don't know what you're getting until you're drafting the player. And to me, I think they can improve this to where maybe use the scouting system from Madden has a pretty good scouting system, and where you have the draft grades and you can kind of tell better of what you're going to be getting for a player. This one, it'll just say first round or undrafted or bot, so on, so on. The more you scout players, obviously, the better it'll say elite, but you don't really know what you're drafting. Like I'm saying, you don't know their overall, the player overall is what I'm trying to get at, until after you draft a player. And I think it just needs to be a little polished, I guess you could say, with the whole better scouting. I'd like to see maybe the prospects game. I think it was in NHL 10 or 11 or something, where you could actually play the prospects game with these players to kind of get a better feel of them, and not just kind of go off of what the scouting thing says. So I'd like to see an improvement there. The next thing I'd like to see is a better playoff celebration. So this is supposedly, this has been asked about a lot. People are getting tired of the same old, you get to the Stanley Cup Finals, and it's the same old, okay, shake hands, and you watch your player skate the cup around for 30 seconds, and then take the team picture. That's great and all, but I'd like to see more interaction, I guess you could say. Maybe when you shake hands, have it from a player's point of view. You can you see yourself walking through the line, shaking each other's hands, or have it user controlled, skating around with the Stanley Cup, raising it by controlling your players doing that. I think it'd be better to kind of see that. And the next thing is the better trading system. And the trading system now, you can't really tell what would be a good trade. You can just kind of go off of the value bar. I'd like to see where you can go in and say, okay, here's a player, and what are you going to give for me for this player? Kind of like MLB The Show. They have that. I think it'd be really cool to see that. Just kind of go in there and say, hey, what will you give me for this player? And then it'll give you all the trades, say prospects and players that are already in the NHL. So you can better choose a better trade. The next thing I'd like to see is the ability to re-sign players in the regular season. This has been asked about a lot. I've seen on Facebook, Twitter posts. People are like, well, when were you going to add the patch or whatever for us to re-sign the players? And they've always been like, well, that's just something that we're looking into, but we don't have that in the game. Maybe in future considerations. That'd be great if they could add that. Just the ability to go into your contracts and sign a player during the regular season instead of having to wait for that 1 week in the off season to re-sign players. I think that would make the game a lot better in that aspect. The next thing I want to go over is be a pro. Now, be a pro, it's been getting better in recent years, but then it also has been getting a little worse, I think. I think a few years ago when they added the whole interaction with the media, fans, and stuff for your player, I thought that was a good idea. And then you had the interviews before the draft. The interviews kind of got redundant with the questions, but I think it was a good idea, and I think they could just build off of that. More interaction would be a plus. Oh, that's in, yeah. And so the next thing off of that would be more teams to choose from in the free agency. So you get the free agent mode, and you'll be a pro after a few years, and your agent comes up to you and he's like, "Oh, so these are the whatever it is. I think it's 4 teams. These are the 4 teams that are interested in you." I mean, yeah, okay. If you're like a 90 overall player and there's only 3 or 4 teams interested in you, I don't think so. I think they should allow you to choose more teams. I'm sure more teams are interested, and just kind of better way of negotiating with the teams. The next thing is kind of going with the franchise mode as well, is the play in the prospects game. I think that would kind of add a little better draft grade for yourself if you were able to play in the prospects game and they gave you kind of what they see in you, like how good you were playing in the game, and have your draft stock rise, all that stuff. I think that would be pretty cool. I'd also like to see the use of the ECHL. I know a lot of people have been saying, hey, you added that mode. Are we going to be able to play with Be a Pro in that? And the answer has been no, sorry. We don't have that in the game yet, or we're not sure if we're going to add that for Be a Pro. I think that's a really cool idea. I think you should be able to sign a quick contract in the ECHL and play a few months there or something, and then get scouted by higher up, AAA, and then not AAA, AHL, and then get on to the NHL. It'd be a better kind of a career story mode kind of thing, and I think that would definitely make it more interesting if they had that in the game. So then we're gonna skip on. Well, actually, first, also in Be a Pro, this is kind of something silly, but just something I've noticed is just the ability to change your number. So for me, this is frustrating because if I'm playing, say, goalie and Be a Pro, and my preferred number I choose when I create my player is 32, and then I get to the team and they already have somebody at 32, so they want to put me at like 38 or 39 or something, then I have no way of changing that number that whole time that I'm on the team. And that's just something small, but I don't know. I like to be able to go in there and at least change my number. I mean, that sounds pretty simple. So the next thing we're jumping into is online play. So online, I would love to see when you're playing club, EASHL, when you're playing club, just say if you don't have 6 people and you have to play with a computer player, I would love to see better AI intelligence. Now, I know this has been asked about for like the last 4 or 5, pretty much every single NHL game since EASHL has been introduced. Better AI intelligence, and they've been like, oh well, we have better AI this year. They're gonna play better. They're gonna react better, have better plays and whatever. And it's like you're playing online, and if you have a computer defenseman, you're pretty much screwed because they're always gonna be out of position, letting the other team just skate right by them. A right defenseman will be playing left D basically if you're playing defense, on your side. Not up into the play, just sitting back and watching mostly. And it's just kind of annoying. They need to kind of hammer that out and have better players that you're playing with if you're not able to field a full squad of 6 players. I think that you shouldn't be penalized for that. Also with EASHL, I'd love to see them take away the momentum. Now, they brought it on a couple years ago, and people are always saying ice tilt, which I think there is a bit of an ice tilt. But they're like, oh, it's just momentum and all that. Well, that's great. I mean, momentum's a big thing, especially in real hockey. But, I mean, this is a video game. You shouldn't score a goal or two and then your team just be totally dominating for the rest of the game. I think it should be, just maybe a little momentum, but it doesn't do anything to really override the gameplay. I think it's whoever's better with the controller on their side. I think they should get the better advantage. I'd also like to see club practice mode. Had that. Oh, that was a bad pass. They had that a couple years ago, where you go in with your club and do like a practice mode with people that you haven't played with before, or haven't played with a lot. And I thought that was a pretty good idea. And then they took it away. I don't know, was it last year or the year before? And I don't really know why. I thought it was actually. I mean, I didn't really use it that much, but there were times where I did use it, and me and a couple players be like, hey, you guys want to go practice for a few minutes? So we would go in there and we'd practice. I thought that was a pretty neat idea. So I'd like to see that to kind of help better boost the chemistry or whatever with your teammates. Now with drop-ins, I would love, and a lot of people are saying this, I would love to see the ability to kick a player or vote on booting a player out of the game, because there could be times where a player picks a position and or doesn't like the team after 2 minutes of playing the game, so then he'll put himself offsides on purpose or shoot on your own goalie and all that stuff. And I there has to be a better way of playing that drop-ins. You should be able to, hey, look, do you guys want to get this player out of here because he's really causing trouble out here? And there should be an option for that, and you should be able to do that instead of going through the game, getting 5 minutes into the game, and one guy's ruining the game for everybody. I think there should be an option to boot him out of the game. So I don't really play Hut that much, so I can't really say what's good and what's not good about it. I do notice that when it first starts, it's like people are just paying outrageous prices for everything, and I guess that's part of the players' fault. I guess people stick out players that are 85, 86 overall for 4,000 or 5,000 coins, and that just drives up the regular price for them. So I don't know what they can do for that, but I'm open for ideas what you guys think is better for Hut mode, since I don't really play it that much. But the last thing I really want to focus on is be a GM, or not be a GM, GM connected. Sorry, GM connected. That to me would put this game over the top. It really would. I don't know why they took it. I know they've said, oh well, it caused problems and not a lot of people were interested in it and this and that, which I really don't buy. I think it was just for them to work on Hut mode and make that more of a big thing, so people would have to spend more money on cards and for them to make more money, basically. I really think that if they added the GM connected mode, they don't even have to add where they added a few years ago, where it was you can do up to 6 players on the team and all that stuff. It should be just one player versus one player, 30 teams, actually it'd be 31, and you just go at it like that for 25 years, like regular offline franchise mode, just online franchise mode. I think that would be really awesome if they added that again, and I don't see why they can't add it. I think that was the best game mode in NHL 14 or 13, whenever they had it. I played that basically nonstop besides club. Actually, one thing I forgot to mention, just something slight. I would love to be able to see the ability to create your own custom camera like they added a couple years ago. They've been adding cameras every year, but the one year that they had the ability to create your custom camera, I thought that was one of the best ideas they had for the visual aspect of the game. So it'd be really cool if they could add something like that back into the game. That's really all I had. If you guys have any better ideas or anything that you want to add, just share with it and tell me what you think. See you guys.